Have you a moment? I believe Ida wished a word with you. I should consider it a personal favour if you would lend a sympathetic ear to her troubles. She's not been herself since Moonbreeder's passing, and my heart aches to see her so downcast. Oh, it's no use. I'm trying to stay positive, but it's just hard, you know? The thing is, I know Moon would tell me off if she saw me moping around like this, which is why I decided to cheer myself up by getting her a special flower. I placed an order for a moon daisy with Rowena a little while ago, and it's ready to be picked up. The trouble is, I find Rowena a bit difficult at the best of times, and while this isn't one of them, I know it's silly, but I just can't face it at the moment, so I was wondering, do you think you could maybe collect it for me? I have the coin to pay for the flower right here. Thank you so much. I'll be waiting for you and the daisy at Rotherfrost. What can I do for you today, adventurer? Eldritch trinket to trade? They've got you running errands now. Them scions really know how to make the most of your talents, don't they? Sending the saviour of Eorzea to the bleeding market. Fine use of your time, that is. Seriously though, you'd best learn how to say no, or they'll have you mucking out the Chocobo stables next. Anyway, what was it you were here to pick up? The moon daisy, was it? Here then, take it, and tell that Ida lass I've got a wide selection of headwear in stock. If she ever decides to replace that dowdy old mask of hers, God knows she needs to. Ugh, Rowena can be so annoying. She just will not take no for an answer. Every time I visit her, she insists I replace my visor with something more fashionable. And when I tell her I like it just fine the way it is, she says it again, and then again, and then again. It drives me crazy. What I mean to say is I really appreciate you doing this for me. So anyway, let's see to it. Moonbreeder loves these things, you know. I hope that somewhere, somehow, she knows I'm still thinking of her.
I'll never forget you, Moon. None of us will.
The song riseth to a crescendo.
Is that what I think it is?
Hello, can you hear me? We have received grave tidings from Ishgard. Pray return to the Rising Stones at once.
My apologies for the interruption. I was deeply saddened to learn of Moonbreeder's passing. Her loss will be sorely felt. Alas, recent developments in Ishgard leave us little time to mourn. The envoy from Coerthus will soon arrive, and we must hasten to hear her report. The envoy is here. I thank you for receiving me at such short notice. Time is of the essence, so I would forego the usual pleasantries, if I may. Certainly, you come with news of the Dravanians. Aye, the dragons have begun their attack in earnest. The first wave reached the central highlands a short while ago, and battle was joined soon thereafter. Sir Aymeric himself sallied forth with a contingent of temple knights and several companies of the noble house's finest. Though the beasts were ultimately forced into retreat, our victory, if such it may be called, came at the cost of many of our own, too many. We will not withstand a second wave should the Dravanians renew their assault. You paint a grim picture, my lady. It is reinforcements you seek, then? We do. Though it pricks our pride, it's plain we cannot protect Ishgard with our ranks thus thinned by the Horde. Sir Aymeric would meet with you to discuss the possibility of enlisting your aid. Very well, I shall depart for Coerthas at once. I must warn you, however, that the involvement of the Crystal Braves is by no means assured. Our commitment to quelling the unrest in Uldar must take precedence. It's with such contingencies in mind that I must make another request. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn are known for sharing close ties with all three of the Grand Companies of Eorzea. Would you consent to plead our case to their leaders? Though I'll gladly appeal to the Grand Companies on your behalf, I dare not promise a favourable reply. You need say no more. Considering our past dealings with the Eorzean Alliance, I can well imagine how our plea will be received. The fate of Ishgard hangs in the balance. We must explore every avenue still open to us, no matter how unpromising. I see. Very well. I shall send envoys to each of the allied nations and have them present your request directly to the heads of the Grand Companies. In the event that your plea does not receive a favourable answer, know that my support is certain to be conditional. Demands will be made of Ishgard. That's only to be expected. Rest assured that I speak with Sir Aymeric's authority in this matter, and that our actions are fully sanctioned by the Holy See. Which brings me to my final request, a personal appeal to you, Warrior of Light. The Lord Commander much desires to speak with you, regardless of your fellows' involvement. You faced Midgard-Sorma and survived. Anything you can share of your experience may yield us an advantage over our foe. Thank you. You wear the mantle of hero well. 'Twould seem the road leads us both to Camp Dragonhead. Seek me out when you arrive. I'd rather talk to Sir Aymeric, if I'm honest.
The sons must answer for their father's misdeeds. Only then will the cycle be broken. Brothers and sisters of the heavens, we raise our voices and join you in the chorus. The sinner's feeble magics are undone. Come, claim your retribution.
It seems I was the swifter. You two, however, have arrived with time to spare, for our host is yet to make an appearance. The murmurings about camp tell of some manner of troubles at the gates of judgment. In the Lord Commander's absence, I suggest we visit the place and find out what is afoot. The gates of judgment are much more than mere doors. They're the outermost layer of Ishgard's magical wards, if our first line of defence can be so easily shattered. When I laid eyes upon Lady Iceheart, I felt the marrow freeze within my bones. Heretic scum! How dare they meddle with our divine protections? I shall rid our nation of their blasphemy, even if it means cutting them down one by one. We need not fret overmuch. There are yet several layers of arcane protection that shield the city from invasion. Mother will be fine. 'Twould seem the heretic struck the first, and most telling, blow against Ishgard. Scions, we expected you at Camp Dragonhead. My apologies, we chanced to hear that there had been trouble at the gates, and thought it prudent to investigate the cause. Then you've learned of the heretic's treachery. Lady Iceheart led a force of her followers against our defenders, and came close enough to dispel the first of our wards. But let us speak more of this back at the camp. Sir Aymeric awaits you. Say no more. Lady Iceheart has grown bold indeed if she would risk direct action against the city. Come, let us do as we were bid and return to Camp Dragonhead. Lord Horsefont will know where Sir Aymeric means to receive us. 'Tis reassuring indeed to behold the countenance of a friend when one's homeland teeters upon the very brink of disaster. Though a single misstep could send us plunging into the abyss, your heroic presence stokes the flames of courage within my heart. Ah, but you did not come to Dragonhead to listen to my prattling. The Lord Commander has arrived and would treat with you in the intercessory. Please be a voice cutscene. I thank you for coming with such haste, and apologise for my absence. Suffice it to say, Lady Iceheart and her heretics have much to answer for. Yes, but we are but recently returned from the Gates of Judgment ourselves. Given the circumstances, we quite understand if you would prefer to postpone our appointed audience. On the contrary, Master Arfanau, I think it more important than ever that this meeting take place. Rest assured, I shall return to my post on Ishgard's walls the moment our business is concluded. Before we move on to the subject of reinforcements, however, I would introduce you to a close friend and stalwart ally, Astinian. May I present to you Ishgard's Azure Dragoon? An impressive title, though I confess I know precious little of the Order of Dragoons. They are formidable warriors all, yet even among such masters of the lance, Astinian is without equal. He out of all the warriors of Ishgard was chosen to wield the power of the dragons, and may thus contend with any Dravanian. You flatter me overmuch, Lord Commander. Ah, it's you. But of course, it's only fitting that fate should draw the two of us together. Well, now that we've all been introduced, let us proceed to the matter at hand. I would share with you that what we've learned of Iceheart's design, as confessed by the heretics taken captive after the assault on the gates. 'Twould seem that Lady Iceheart and the Dravanians share a common goal, the reclamation of Needhog's stolen eye. Needhog? One of the 7 great worms? His name features prominently in your nation's history. Though once defeated by the hero Haldrath, the beast is said to have terrorized Coerthas since Ishgard's founding. Many of the scars our walls bear from Needhog's relentless efforts to raise the city. The trophy Haldrath plucked from the bested worm's skull, known simply as the Eye, is a treasured relic of Ishgard and one possessed of untold power. Should it ever be returned to Needhog, the dread creature would be restored to the height of his strength, and then no wall or ward we could erect would be stout enough to deny him. My vengeful son hath waged war against Ishgard for 1,000 years. No mortal mind could comprehend the depths of his rancour. The eye itself is secreted deep within the vault. It's kept under heavy guard, surrounded at all times by men and women who have proven their loyalty to the Holy See. But those stout walls and sharp blades may suffice to discourage the heretics. The dragons are another matter. There are individuals within the Dravanian horde whom an entire company of knights would labour to repel, to say nothing of Needhog himself. Nor does age rob them of their strength. Through the endless march of years, the dragons endure, patient, calculating, inexorable. You must understand, these creatures do not share our perception of time. And that's essentially true of the great worms, they who spend centuries in slumber only to wake and resume their campaign as if mere hours had passed. It's been 20 years since Needhog last darkened our skies, 20 years for him to gather his strength, and for us to bolster our defences, and now, just as he seems primed to return, the heretics strike at the gates. You believe that Lady Iceheart is in league with the creature, then? Of that we cannot be certain, though we know the heretics covet the eye. We have been unable to determine their plans for it. Such questions aside, we must needs address the ragged hole their mistress has seen fit to rend in Ishgard's protections. 'Tis a weakness the Dravanians are not like to leave untested. So it would seem. You've described your plight in admirable detail, Lord Commander, yet I cannot help but wonder at your candour. Why share such sensitive information with us? I shall speak plain. Ishgard has need of allies, and I would have you bolster our front lines in readiness for the coming battle against the dragons. This much I expected. Unlike our arrangement concerning the Keeper of the Lake, however, only you stand to benefit from our assistance in this matter. I fail to see why we should intervene in a conflict which concerns only Ishgard and Dravania. When the Eorzean Alliance requested Ishgard's assistance during Operation Archon, you refused us. Does it not seem grossly unjust to demand that we now risk our lives to your private war? I make no attempt to defend my country's conduct. I only ask that you consider what would follow were Ishgard to fall. Having razed our city to the ground, the Horde would have little cause to linger, and most would return to their lairs in Dravania. Soon thereafter the ruins of Coerthus would be buried in snow, and the land would become the sole province of beast and beastman. Until the Garleans' arrival, that is, for you may be certain that the Empire would not hesitate to claim Coerthus. They would not even have to draw steel. An imperial province sharing border with Mordonna. 7 hells. Very well, we will assist you in repelling the dragons. The roar of a great worm may have shaken the firmament, but we of Eorzea will not abandon our Ishgardian brothers to face the coming horde alone. Nor did I ever think you would. Now, upon the matter of the roar. Allow me, Sir Aymeric. Through the power of the eye, I've become the vessel of Nidhogg's strength. His essence has stolen into my very blood. Fear not, I'm in full control of my faculties, I assure you, and the eye itself is of no relevance to this tale. It's not essential that I bear it with me wheresoever I go. Its lingering influence does, however, allow me to hear Nidhogg's voice. Then the worm who roared? Was Nidhogg, aye. He means to hurl his horde against Danifan's collar and shatter the remaining wards that protect the city. There can be no doubt, the worm has summoned his minions to war. Though the circumstances are far from ideal, this desperate endeavour will at least provide us an opportunity to bring the sister states of Eorzea together in common cause. Sir Aymeric was more ruthless in his negotiations than I had anticipated. I suppose one must give no quarter when one's home is at stake. But did you see the look on his face when he formally requested our assistance? Though the Lord Commander has long campaigned for Ishgard to open its gates to outsiders, I suspect this softening of the Holy See's attitude towards foreign cooperation comes as something of a bittersweet victory. The days ahead promise to be interesting indeed. If we're to aid the Ishgardians in this war of theirs, preparations will have to be made, and soon. Before proceeding, however, we must needs return to the Rising Stones and make our report to the antecedent.
Alphino, it is good to see you. Tell me, what have you learned?
Pray summon the others. Everyone must hear my report.
So this was all but a taste of what's to come.
Indeed. The main host advances upon Ishgard as we speak.
Whose vaunted defenses have been nullified.
Shorn of its wards, the city will bear the full force of Nidhogg's fury.
all those people.
Alphino is right. The Dravanians cannot be allowed to prevail. If Ishgard falls, all of Eorzea will suffer the consequences.
Then you agree that we have no choice but to intervene. For the good of the realm, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn and the Crystal Braves must join the defense of Ishgard.
Let there be no ambiguity about what has been proposed. We would be directly intervening in the war. But if all here believe the cause to be just, then to war we shall go. The path we now embark upon is perilous, but I pray you will walk with us to the end. For those we have lost, for those we can yet save.
Then it is settled. I shall inform the Council of our intentions and request that they contribute their own forces to the defense of Ishgard.
I've bid the Archons travel to their assigned nations. Should the members of the Alliance agree to pledge Grand Company soldiers to Ishgard's cause, our comrades will be on hand to act as intermediaries for the duration of the conflict. The small matter of persuading the Alliance leaders to grant such support I leave to Alphino. For you, my friend, a different task awaits. I would have you reach out to your fellow adventurers and gather what allies you may for the coming siege. I would also have you consider the matter of our own security. Revenant's Toll is but a short flight from the snowfields of Coerthus. It's not unimaginable that the fighting may spill across the border. Pray brief Slathborn on the brewing conflict and discuss potential contingencies. The frontier settlers must be prepared for aught that might wing its way over our walls. I only hope that such precautions prove unnecessary. Before you leave, might I suggest that you have Tataru accompany you? She has a talent for administration and a firm grasp of the practical challenges we may encounter. We are rather close to Coerthus, aren't we? We'd best see to our town defences and take stock of our supplies. Oh, and we'll also need to have beds and bandages laid out just in case. A good receptionist is ready for any eventuality. Let's go. I've 101 things to discuss with Slathborn. I appreciate the warning. If war is coming to Coerthus, then the toll must be made ready. I'll increase the number of patrols and lookouts immediately. I'll also see about finding room for an infirmary as well as temporary housing for victims of the conflict. Ishgard has done well by us in the past, and I would return the favour. But as for rounding up volunteers for the fighting itself, I'm afraid I must disappoint you. I will not send my fellow guild members to die on Ishgardian soil, and I'm certain headquarters will say the same. There will be no official Adventurers Guild presence at this siege. That said, each adventurer is of course free to do as he or she will. I shall have a word with some of my more capable colleagues on your behalf, and you might try your luck here in Revenant's Toll. I dare say there are a few stout souls about town who will answer your call to arms. Let's get started, shall we? We have a town to rouse. Spare me your talk of glory and fame. I'm not in the habit of volunteering for lost causes. I've survived this long by trusting my instincts, and my instincts tell me to stay well away from Ishgard. Ishgard sounds like she's in a right mess, but that ain't what I wanted to talk to you about. I need you to cast your mind back to that scuffle with the Empire out by the processing plant. A lad from Little Alamigo by the name of Wilred was there with the 4th that day, and I want to know if you've seen him since. Have you? God damn it, I feared as much. No one's bloody seen him. It's like the ground opened up and swallowed him whole. But that ain't all. Around the time Wilred stopped turning up for duty, them black market weapons went missing from our vault in Uldar. So now, of course, half the Braves suspect the lad are making off with the goods. Folk like to believe our company is a disciplined fighting force, but as you and me both know, it's no more'n a motley collection of mercenaries, adventurers, and Grand Company veterans. The only thing as binds us together is some vague oath about fighting for the freedom of all. That and steady pay. Now, compared to most others in this crew, Wilred's a fresh-faced novice, a bleeding whelp amongst wolves. But the boy's got passion. When he talked about being a guardian of Eorzea, he bloody well meant it. A lad like him wouldn't rob us blind and bugger off like that. He ain't the type. And then, and this is just between you and me, mind, there's the fact that the lad wanted to tell me something queer he'd noticed in the ledgers. Something about the Braves' numbers not adding up. Aye, there's a villain at the end of this trail I've stumbled on, and I'll bet me good eye it ain't young Wilred. Any road, you've got a war to wage, so I'll let you get on. I just thought someone should know. I'll be seeing you. There you are. So, did you sway any hearts? 1 or 2, eh? Well, added to mine, that makes 3 or 4, not including Slaffborn's friends. We won't have the largest company in the army, but I'd say one Revenant's Toll veteran is worth a dozen clanking knights at least. Oh, I've been so caught up with recruiting that I almost forgot. There's been word from Alpha now. Apparently the Alliance leaders are convening in Uldar to discuss Ishgard's plight, and they've requested your presence, as usual. Anyway, you'd best make your way to Uldar or you'll be running late. Alpha now said that he would meet you on the Royal Promenade. My apologies for calling you away from your tasks. I had hoped to proceed with these negotiations one leader at a time, but it seems my urgent requests for an audience have prompted a gathering of the council. Needless to say, I felt obliged to attend. The Alliance leaders are already seated within. Let us join them, shall we?
We are well aware of Ishgard's dilemma, and we agree with your assessment.
Then I trust there are no objections to the Crystal Braves' intervention.
Uldar has none.
Gridania does not object.
The Crystal Braves are yours to command, Alphino. Do what you will. We shall pray for your success.
It was my hope that you would offer more substantial aid than prayer. I know it is within your means.
Do not presume that you have knowledge of our every concern. The Garleans and the Beast Tribes are but 2 of many. We are not in a position to contribute greatly to the defense of Ishgard, not when our own homes are still under siege.
We dare not leave our interests in Cartano undefended as well. Telegi Adalegi and his ilk would seize control of the territories in our absence.
The enemy is at their gates, and you would cower behind yours?
No one is cowering, boy. We will offer what support we can.
Aye, support. A handful of men and no more.
Would that we could commit more than a token force to this cause. Yet there are others to whom you might turn. The free companies ever want for work.
Ah, yes. The free companies. They're not like to turn you down.
I beg your pardon? You would entrust the survival of Ishgard to sell swords? Crises like these are the very reason why this alliance was formed. It is our duty to aid our fellow man.
My duty is to my country and my people. If you expect us to place the welfare of a foreign power above our own, you're going to be sorely disappointed. Lest you doubt, Limsa comes first, then the Alliance, and finally, circumstances permitting, Ishgard and the rest. If you cannot understand so simple a concept, then you have no place at this table.
Forgive me, Admiral. I was careless in my choice of words.
I suggest you assemble a party of elite adventurers, assuming you haven't already. Your fellows served us well during Operation Archon. I dare say they will do so again. If I may, Your Grace, I wish to propose a redistribution of forces. If we entrust the security of Uldar to the Brass Blades for a time, we can dispatch a larger force to Ishgard. Your Grace?
Yes. Yes, of course. Do what you will.
Is Her Grace not feeling well?
To the best of my knowledge, Her Grace is in perfect health.
I see. Carry on.
Once again, I owe you an apology. It seems you've been conscripted into leading a contingent of adventurers on yet another mission of an inestimable danger. But I fear we've been left with little alternative. We cannot well abandon Lord Horshifon and Sir Aymeric to their fate. We must abide by the Council's decision, as short-sighted as it is, and strive to fulfill our roles as Eorzean Guardians. Captain Eelbird, what news? Then the assault has begun. We have but this moment concluded our audience with the Alliance leaders. Move our forces into position. Your unit will join House Durandare at the Steel Vigil. Man the cannons alongside the knights and thin the Dravanian hordes ere they descend upon Ishgard. I will join you as soon as I'm able. I would have you and your adventurer allies bolster the defences at the Steps of Faith. Report first to Sir Marceline at the Gates of Judgment, and he will direct you to where you're needed most. May the gods grant us victory. You are the appointed captain of the Sellsword contingent? Then welcome. There's no shortage of blade work to be done. As we speak, Dravanian skirmishing parties are harrying positions across the Central Highlands. I've assigned the Crystal Braves and your fellow adventurers to contain these scattered attacks, and for the present I would have you join them. This is, of course, merely a precursor to the assault on Ishgard proper. The wily serpents seek to divide and confuse our forces, but we will not be so easily drawn out of position. The Temple Knights will remain on the Steps of Faith and continue our preparations. When the Horde arrives in force, they shall face a wall of Ishgardian steel. Report back to me once their advanced skirmishers are slain. What news, adventurer? The reinforcements? Decimated, you say? Dravanian devils. Damn their scaly hides. Hold fast to your grief and fury, my lady. We will avenge the deaths of your fellows in the battle to come. Ere you commit yourself to the siege, you should know what it is you're tasked with defending. Beyond the Gates of Judgment lie the Steps of Faith, a great bridge of stone that leads directly to the city of Ishgard. More than simply a means to cross the Sea of Clouds, the bridge serves as a foundation for the arcane wards that form the barrier we call Danaphan's Collar. Alas, in dispelling the barrier's outermost layer, that thrice-damned witch Iceheart stripped the bridge of its protection, and thus are the dragons now able to land unhindered upon the steps of faith. Should the Dravanians succeed in destroying the remainder of the wards, the winged devils will be free to swarm within the city itself. Needless to say, we cannot suffer that to happen. It shall be our task as defenders to prevent any harm from coming to those parts of the bridge wherein the wards are sealed. 3 yet remain, and we have dispatched our forces accordingly. I would ask you and your comrades to accompany our defenders at the outermost ward. I should hope that includes us as well, yes? The Scions of the Seventh Dawn? We could not well stand idly by while the Horde threatens the good people of Ishgard. Indeed, to do otherwise would go against all that Master Louis Soir has taught us. As for where we may be of most assistance, I think it prudent we divide into 2 groups. Ida and I will join the rear guard. Right, if the dragons should reach us, we'll be sure to give them what for. Thank you, all of you. Pray speak with me again when your preparations are complete, and together we shall stand against the Horde. Let's go. I trust you are ready then. Good. Come, let us make for the battlefield. I might have failed. Oh! Wait! Wait! I actually don't know if this is protecting me or not. Oh, there's a Stinian! I only just noticed. We got no chance. I'm doing no damage. Oh, nearly. Get him! Just! Hooray! The dragons, they are withdrawing. Victory is ours. One of Needhog's greatest champions, slain, the Horde will not soon recover from this blow. But what of you, Needhog? Why did you not join your minions and make of this battle a slaughter? Have you grown so fond of the stench of your lair? Mayhap you prefer to have your allies fight your battles for you. You have a girl to do your bidding now, do you not? No matter. I shall slay Iceheart and all the rest. But I yearn to spill the blood of a great worm, Needhog, and only your death will sate my lance. The dragons are rooted. Lest you wonder, the fighting at the Steel Vigil was also fierce, but my Crystal Braves were not found wanting. Commander Lavelier, true to your words, you arrived to aid us in our hour of need. On behalf of the Holy See and the people of Ishgard, I offer you my humble thanks. Though I would stay and lavish you with well-deserved praise, I fear I must away to oversee the aftermath of the siege. Not all the dragons are fled, and there are yet wounded to be carried from the field. Pray let us meet anon, that I might express my thanks with the proper courtesy. We have indeed achieved a victory of singular importance. With the Dravanian horde thus weakened and scattered, the threat to Ishgard has been greatly diminished. And mayhap equally significant, the Holy See must now recognise the necessity of cooperation with foreign powers. Long have they barred their gates against the outside world, but I'm confident that the day will soon come when Ishgard proclaims itself a member of the Eorzean Alliance once more. Much have we sacrificed in our struggles against dragons and primals, the Ascians and the Empire, but step by unfaltering step we march ever nearer to our goal. And as ever, the journey is made with you in the van. The victory you have won this day gives us greater hope for the morrow. 'Tis a hope that shall sustain us in the days to come, and bear us past the many evils that yet seek to hinder our progress. Yes, we have done well, my friend, and I, for one, would take a moment to savour the enormity of our achievement. The demands of duty, however, allow me little time for levity. I must accompany Captain Ilberd back to Uldar and reassign those braves whose squads suffered heavy losses. You, my friend, have earned a rest at the Rising Stones. Pray return to Revenant's Toll and share your tale with Minfilia in person. We will see to informing the other nations of what took place here. Do be sure to give our regards to Minfilia. Welcome back. Alphanel sent word of the siege, and of course the role you played in ending it. Your deeds never cease to amaze me. Thank you. You must be weary, and now may very well be your only chance to... Antecedent. A messenger from Uldar arrived with a missive for you. The royal seal. Curious indeed. Ah, an invitation. On behalf of the Council of the Eorzean Alliance, Her Royal Majesty Nanamo Ul Namo invites the Scions of the Seventh Dawn to attend a feast at the Royal Palace of Uldar in honour of Ishgard's recent victory. It would seem we are to be recognised for our part in lifting the siege, you for your valiant efforts as commander of the adventurous contingent, and the Archons for their earnest attempts to arouse the city-states. Truly, I find it strange that the Alliance leaders should think themselves deserving of a place at such celebration. All three refused to deploy their standing armies, preferring to send hastily assembled companies of sellswords, many of whom perished ere the siege began. Are they truly so brazen as to seek to share in the glory of your triumph? Ah, but mayhap they simply seek a pretext to meet with the Ishgardians while the mood is yet jubilant. Such an occasion would present a fine opportunity to press for Ishgard's return to the Eorzean Alliance. We have scarce had time to mourn Moonbreeder, and I for one am in no mood to carouse, but I suppose we must put away our grief for the good of the realm. Though you were promised rest, I fear I must insist that you also attend. It would be a strange celebration indeed if the victorious hero were not present. Pray content yourself with the thought that such occasions may bring about momentous change, and this without recourse to bloodshed. Totaro, if you would do me the favour of contacting the rest of the Scions. Of course, Antecedent. And please let me know if there's anything else I can do. Curious. I've never known Totaro to sigh at such requests. Could aught be amiss?